Ilharg the Raze-Boar versus Muldrotha the Gravetide. And it looks like we've drawn into all of our colourless sources there. But if we can get down a lot of mana and then get into just one red source, we can actually wheel that. Yeah, I'm going to risk this one. Ilharg the Raze-Boar is a 5 mana 6/6 boar god with trample. When it attacks, we can throw down a creature from our hand onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking, and then it gets bounced to our hand at the beginning of the next end step. And Muldrotha the Gravetide is a 6 mana Sultai commander, a 6/6. During each of your turns, you can play up to one permanent of each permanent type from your graveyard. So a Wheel of Fortune might actually help them a little bit. This start from Muldrotha is absolutely ridiculous. And then they get a windfall anyway, so that is... yeah, that's actually a worse hand. We'll just have to play this out and see what happens. But our opponent's already gotten off to a busted start on us. And then a Kalani Heart Expedition for even more lands. So what's our opponent up to by the end of their second turn? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana by the end of turn 2. Something tells me we're not winning this one. And down comes Muldrotha, so they can get some more lands going again. That will trigger the Hedron Crab, and they can get some self-mill on the go. And another Hedron Crab trigger when they sack the Polluted Delta. They can play 2 lands from their graveyard every turn. And if they are sack lands, then it will be 4 landfall triggers. Which is what? This is 3 lands that it mills every time a land comes in. Alright, and our opponent's got a Lignify as well, which makes me just want to quit right now because it's not looking like we are going to do anything this game anyway, but especially with a Lignify. Mana Vault. What does that do for us? Just going to get down the Hellkite Tyrant. We can steal our opponent's Mana Crypt with that. Our opponent has gotten into Shriekmaw. Yeah, this is just going to be a long and tortuous game. Our opponent hasn't gotten a single point of damage on us yet. And I'm not likely to just sit all the way through this. They're getting down Ashnod's Altar for some reason. Let's just say good game and try and get a real game on the go. Ilharg the Raze-Boar versus Lovisa Cold Eyes. And yeah, I think that is a good hand to keep. We can go for Hammer of Perforos on turn... oh, actually, on turn 3 we can go for Thran Dynamo, can't we? So I think that's the way to go here. Lovisa Cold Eyes is a 5 mana 3/3. Each creature that's a Barbarian, Warrior or Berserker gets +2/+2 and haste. 3/3 for 5 mana. Ilharg the Raze-Boar is a 5 mana 6/6 with trample. Whenever it attacks, you may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped and attacking, and then it's returned to your hand at the beginning of the next end step. Okay, getting underway eventually. Let's get down a mountain and pass over like that. And then, yeah, it's just a mountain again and throwing it back over. Probably going for Thran Dynamo next turn. Yeah, Tormenting Voice is pretty good, but we're definitely just going to ramp past our opponent here. Now then, Swiftfoot Boots. Can we do that? That would be 5 and 8. No, we can get down the boots, but we can't equip them, unfortunately. I think I'm actually going to risk a Tormenting Voice here. I'll get rid of the Relentless Assault. And there we go, we did get into a land, so that is good. How's about a Hammer of Perforos, and then we'll get down the Swiftfoot Boots as well. That way we can give our commander hexproof and it will have haste even if our opponent deals with the boots. I think we're far enough ahead of our opponent now to be able to take a turn off doing stuff like that. And they get down the Vessel of Volatility. 2 and sack for 4 mana. We get into another land, that's good. Ilharg is 5 mana. Yeah, so I think we're okay to get down the Strionic Resonator here. We're not going to use it, but we may do later on in the game. And then let's be sure to get hexproof onto our commander. And here we can get down the Steel Hellkite. And I don't want to blow up my opponent's Vessel of Volatility, which is why I went for the Strionic Resonator instead. We could have put 2 mana into the Steel Hellkite there and blown up the Vessel of Volatility. But we're getting way past our opponent and I'd like somewhat of an interactive game. And down comes Lovisa Cold Eyes. I think I do want to... I think our opponent's got that down to maybe distract us away from killing this thing. I'm actually going to put 2 mana into the Steel Hellkite here. Let's go in at our opponent. And then we'll put 2 mana into that. And then we'll get down the Panharmonicon. And I need to decide if I want to wheel or not. Our opponent's struggling as it is. So I think I just want to leave it like that. A Paragon of Fierce Defiance. Other red creatures you control get +1/+1, and then for red and tap, another target creature you control gains haste. That's a 2/2. Our opponent didn't really get going quickly enough there. We luckily got into our lands and mana rocks pretty quickly, and then being able to cheat things in with Ilharg not only piles on damage, but it allows us to get effects going like Steel Hellkite. Had we have gone for the Wheel of Fortune, let's see what we would have gotten into. Yeah, we would have gotten into some really powerful stuff there. I dare say we could have gotten away with a wheel, even if we were going to refill our opponent's hand. The Strionic Resonator allows us to copy a triggered ability that is on our commander in this case. So we swing in with Ilharg. The trigger goes on the stack, then we put 2 mana into it and get another copy of that trigger on the stack. And in this case, probably would have gone for Spawn of Thraxes. And that would have been more than enough damage to put our opponent down to 0. Anyway, we'll get another game going and see if we can get something more interactive on the go. Okay, let's try again. Of course, we have an opening hand with no lands in it, so let's try again. That hand is not great either. Yeah, that's not a good one, but we're against mono red. Maybe they'll wheel. We can wheel if we get into another land, so let's just keep that. We'll ditch the Caged Sun because we're nowhere close to that. Still playing Ilharg the Raze-Boar, of course, and this time we're up against Jaya Ballard, Task Mage. We'll throw down a mountain and go over the commander. She is a 2/2 for 3 mana. Red, tap and discard, destroys a blue permanent. 2 tap and discard, and she will deal 3 damage to any target. A creature dealt damage this way can't be regenerated. And then for 7 tap and discard, it's 6 damage to each creature and each player. Okay, there's the Meteor Golem. We're really desperate for another land next turn. Alright, well there's a mana rock that we can do nothing with. We'll just have to hope that we get into a land next turn. 37 lands in this deck. I might have to up it to 38. I thought we would get away with 37 lands because we've got lots of mana rocks. Okay, Tormenting Voice might get us into one. This is really, really slow. Meteor Golem or Balefire Dragon. I think I'm actually going to ditch the Commander Sphere here because we can hopefully go for Cathartic Reunion if we don't get into another land. If we do get into a land, it's Solemn Simulacrum. And failing all that, we can just wheel and try and start again. And there is a Lightning Elemental, a 4-1 with haste, so clearly our opponent is in some kind of burn strategy, trying to get our life total down to 0 as soon as they can. Well, we're not having the best of luck here, are we? Let's go for Thought Vessel into the Cathartic Reunion. We'll discard 2 cards. I don't think we're going to have a chance to get down the Fervor or the Solemn. Wow, and still no lands. This is crazy. Alright, we'll just have to carry on waiting it out. An Arrow Storm from our opponent is 4 damage to any target. If you attacked with a creature this turn, it's 5 damage. Let's try Wasteland. And we'll just have to try and get Ilharg down here and hope that our opponent can't burn it out. Okay, if we block here, they only have to deal 2 damage to it to kill it, so we'll have to take the 4. Okay, Thundermare doesn't necessarily help us. Let's go for a Balefire Dragon into play and wipe our opponent's board. I don't think we've been quick enough this game, but we'll carry on trying. Yeah, they could deal 3 damage to any target, or no, they can't do the last one. That's 7 mana for that, so they can Lightning Bolt. Seems as though our opponent doesn't really know what to do here, so they're going to block Ilharg, and then they might have a 4 damage spell. Or they could Lightning Bolt it in response, so that they deal 5 damage. Okay, so there's 2 damage on our commander now. And then Balefire Dragon will deal 6 damage to everything our opponent controls. Now then, why don't we go for Whisper Silk Cloak. And see if they've got instant speed burn for our Ilharg. They don't, so that makes our commander unblockable, and it has Shroud. Thanks to the Whisper Silk Cloak. I'll be very surprised if we manage to pull a win together from here, though. We've been way too slow not getting into lands. That looked like 3 damage to us. Incendiary Flow, 3 damage to any target. And then there's Vessel of Volatility, 2 and sack for 4 mana. There we go, we've gotten into a land eventually. They might be going for some kind of X spell. So let's go for... Yeah, we obviously need to get down as much damage as we can. Yeah, so we'll go for Sneak Attack. And I think getting down the Meteor Golem is the way to go here. If we had a Lightning Bolt in hand, we could actually get down the Thundermare and then swing in with Balefire, Ilharg and Thundermare and then Lightning Bolt them for the win, but obviously that's not the case. We'll go for Meteor Golem and kill that Vessel of Volatility, because I'm assuming that they're after a big X spell with that. And then we can Faithless Loot in as well, so let's get down our Balefire Dragon. They already know we have that, plus it's the most damage we can deal anyway. We will have to sacrifice the Meteor Golem at the end of the turn, because Sneak Attack has us do that. Faithless Looting will draw us some cards here. Yeah, I don't think either of those are going to be of any use to us. Might just be a Wheel of Fortune next turn. They have to kill us now, otherwise we are going to get 3, 4, 6 on our opponent. It is unblockable, don't forget, thanks to this. There's Apocalypse. That's something. So our opponent's probably got it there. They've got 0 cards in hand, and they're probably going to get into burn faster than we're going to get into anything. Had I known they were going to do that, I definitely would have kept the Warm Power Stone. they top deck a land, same as we do. If they get into any kind of mana rocks, then Vandal Blast will deal with that. And of course our opponent rips into another land off the top. Let's see if we have the same luck. Nope. Watch them get into a third land here. See? And watch us get into no land. I'm calling it. Alright, a burn spell here, I think, or some kind of mana rock. Okay, they're holding it up. There's our land, a Rogue's Passage. We can't do anything yet. I'm not really planning on a Wheel of Fortune, because all we'll do is feed our opponent a load of burn spells with that. They get into their fourth land, G2 Encampment. And this is, yeah, it's a man land, a 2-1 with first strike for only 2 mana. So all they have to do now is hit us with that thing 3 times and we are done. Yeah, we can't do Wild Guess unfortunately because we've drawn into the draw spell that costs 2 red. We've already gotten into Tormenting Voice and where's the other one? Cathartic Reunion. Had we have drawn into those in a different order, we might be in a slightly better position now. 2 more hits from the man land and we are out of the game. And they just go for a Seething Song and then they get down an Invader Parasite and take one of our mountains off of us, so this is clearly a particularly spiky player. Yeah, they could have just gone for the G2 Encampment there. I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't really like the way our opponent's playing, to be honest. But they won fair and square. That's just the way some people build their decks. That was Jaya Ballard, Task Mage, versus Ilharg the Raze-Boar. I'm tribalkai on the EDH channel. Thank you for watching.